Hey guys, this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, and it is the 30th of December. It's Saturday morning, it's about 5 o'clock where I am. And I haven't made a video in about 12 days. I've been spending time with my family for Christmas, getting some stuff done for my car, like the inspection sticker, registration, get my license and everything. My mom and dad helped me clean up my place a little bit. So I've been spending a lot of time with my family, which is great. So I had a great Christmas. I hope y'all had a great Christmas. I was gonna make a video on Christmas, but I really the torture towards the end of the year has been so horrific, and I've been so tired. I mean, even I have to pump myself up to do this video. I had to take an Ativan, I had to take 1 milligram Ativan, and then start drinking my kratom because my body just can't take the torture. My mind can't take the torture. It's very, very bad. So juxtapose that with a great Christmas. My family loves me. We had a good time, good food and everything like that. While I was, like Christmas Eve, we had Christmas Eve over at my parents' house, and they have a place right across from me. When they come in from Florida, they stay there. And so I was sleeping most of the day because that's kind of my schedule. And my attackers like hit me with two streams of energy on each side of the head, like on the temples, and were able to get that high pitched sound back. Where I was able to keep it out with Dave's CD, his counter frequency CD, and my bunker behind me. Um, but I really think, okay, this is my theory, and there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Probably maybe this will be a 3 or 4 parter. But Dave Case's theory about the stream of energy when it hits our head, and then our skin is conducting it towards the nerves in our ears or the nerves in our eyes, and that's how the directed energy actually affects certain regions of the brain. That seems to be definitely true from my experience, from what's going on, because I'm listening to the CD. They don't seem to be able to, it really shakes off the remote neural manipulation, shakes off the tinnitus like sound that's coming from signals, to the nerves in your ears or your eyes or whatever. So it seemed like that night, Christmas Eve, they were putting like hardcore streams of energy to my temples right by where the headphones were, and it was kind of getting that high pitched sound back. So that tells me that sending a stream of energy and using our skin is a conducer to get it there. That kind of solidifies that theory in my mind. Now Brian too also has a theory, and other TIs have a theory that they'll send a stream of energy of adaptive, falsified stream of energy straight through, because we have nanoparticulates basically, that have gone up to our brain, that are on our neurons and stuff. So the stream of energy, photon energy, like light energy, basically, hits those straight through. Now, I think that maybe both could be occurring, because what I've learned about this is that our attackers use, from getting hit with it, and researching, some of the patents, and talking to other TIs, I've learned that they do things a lot of different ways. So I think that it happens both ways. I think they use both. When one doesn't work so well, they go to the other one. Like, so if, say I was really keeping that out, like by using Dave's CD and by the bunker, really keeping it down where they couldn't really use my skin as a conductive material to then go to the nerves, then they would go to that other system where they're going straight through, to the nanoparticulates actually collecting up in our brain. But Yeah, I'm kind of digressing right now. I knew this would happen because I haven't made a video in a long time. I've been thinking about a lot of stuff. I'm actually, I really like the way that I'm getting tortured right now is so horrible, and I really, I wanted to spend time with my family, but I didn't want to make a video that was depressing or down, because we are coming up to 2018. I do think big changes are going to be made, so I kind of wanted to hold off on, oh my God, this is fucking crazy, and I seem to be getting hit harder. The last, in December, in November and December, but really the end of December and the holidays, it seems like they have more hands on deck because I think some people are off for the holidays that work with them. They get people in to help them or something like that. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure how that works, but I mean, they can hit my CD. I'm getting the high pitched noise. They're hitting me in the clavicle. I mean, it's at least 5 streams of energy that I'm counting. When I'm laying in my bunker. So I'm just like, how are they manually doing 5 streams of energy? Some of it must be automated or whatever, but it's hell. And then the V2K, it's they usually like will come in and for a couple of hours, they'll respond to every inner voice thought and every visual I have. The V2K will be like, oh, it's that. Like if I'm thinking of, I think of stupid examples when I'm doing videos, guys. Not good examples that would really, but like just say, like if I have a Batman sweater on. So if I was thinking a Batman movie, in my visual cortex, the V2K is like, oh, Batman Returns. Like literally the movie that I'm thinking of. Or if my inner voice is like, I'm thinking about like, I just bought some Brazilian nuts, and I'm thinking about like they're in the kitchen, and I'm like Brazilian nut. They'll go, he's thinking about Brazilian nuts. So the V2K is doing that all the time to everything. So basically, the only piece that I can get is either repeating something over and over, like I'll repeat Jesus Christ is my Savior, Jesus Christ is my Savior, Jesus Christ, and they tend to not want to repeat that for some reason, because they're very unholy people. And horrible demon worshippers, but I find ways where I'll just shut down. I just won't do inner voice thoughts, and I'll try not to think of anything. And that's very unhealthy. It's very unhealthy for the brain and just your own nervous system. But we've got to adapt to this horrible thing. Sometimes it's impossible. It's just like, I'm sitting here, I'm like watching something on my computer, and they are just, any kind of inner voice thought, any kind of it, they're actually trying to inject visuals in when something comes up, and these are not visuals that are, like trying to act like my own thoughts. These are visuals that are very disturbing, and I think that these people are very, very evil. And I don't even want to go into those images, but y'all know what I'm talking about. But it's like, my point is, I'm getting hit from every angle. I'm getting hit by everything. They have gotten the high pitched sound back, and it may have been because I wasn't listening to Dave's counter frequency enough. Usually I would listen to it to 12 hours a day, but then my parents came into town, and I had to during the day do stuff, and my schedule got thrown off. So I was maybe listening to it for like 4 to 6 to 8 hours instead of 12 hours every day, keeping it consistent. I guess that's my theory of how they got that back in, but it's real bad, real loud, feels like my head wants to bust. I did scream out in my apartment, in my condo, 2 times when I was going to sleep earlier yesterday. I did. I cried out from the torture. It's just so my body and mind just can barely take it. Now, I'm not trying to bring y'all down. I did actually want to talk about some positive things that have happened and are coming up and that we should be aware of as target individuals. If any of y'all saw the President Trump's speech from December 18. On December 18, he made a speech, and this is what he said in context to this. But he mentioned electromagnetic attacks, and he said we must learn to defend new ways to defend against cyber attacks and electromagnetic attacks. So he mentioned electromagnetic attacks in his speech, and he was talking about America defending against them. He didn't come right out and say like there are a bunch of people, in this country and around the world who are being tortured, who are being tortured and experimented on 24 hours a day, and we've got to stop that. But he did mention electromagnetic attacks, so he did get that in the public conversation even more than the Cuban embassy attack and different things that are happening. So that's a really good thing. It's a step in the positive direction for somebody like me and probably a lot of you guys who I'm so desperate, like my body can't do this, my mind can't do this. Sometimes I have a very, very strong mind. I had Crohn's when I was little. I've been through stuff. My family's strong. My family loves me, and the V2K, the Chatterbox V2K, and them repeating anything that I think, that I just like start shaking sometimes because it's like I'm caged in rape. I'm like caged in this electronic rape, like signals, just signals, rape, and I'm just sitting there watching TV or trying to go to sleep, and it's been years and years and years of it not stopping. So it's just like, it's so funny how it's like they've got really, really strong people, and I know a lot of UTIs out there, the majority of you are strong mentally and physically. When somebody does this to you for 24 hours a day for decades, or a decade even, it becomes very hard to hold yourself together. The human body and the human mind is not meant to just have torture 24 hours a day. And just to anybody, any normal person who's not a TI, not a direct TI, because I think that we are all targeted. We're all targeted in the world now, in some way. This is horrifying, and we need your help. Like, we need you to call, mainstream media news outlets, local news outlets, the FBI. We need you to call Homeland Security. We need you to call the Department of Justice. I mean, we need you to try and get in touch with the President's office and say, why is this not being investigated? These people's claims that are the same, that are claiming that they are being experimented on with directed energy weapons, that signals are being sent to their brain and to their ears. We need your help. And if you're agents within this country who don't know about this, and you don't know how bad it is that citizens are being tortured 24 hours a day for years and years and years and years, we need your help in any way that you can, in any way that you could maybe complain. And I know a lot of people, they're scared that they're going to get pulled into the program, so it's a fear-based system, but it's time. I mean, if this thing doesn't end on the 1st, I'm going to really get to it, because I can't do another year of this. I mean, I probably can, but it will, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say it'll irreparably damage me, but this is irreparably damaging me and a lot of other TIs. So many TIs out there. I guess all of us in certain ways. See, this is why I didn't make a video, because it's really bad right now. It's really bad. But I do want to document it. I've been so tired that, I didn't even want to try and document it because my thoughts are just all over the place. But so let's focus on, the president said, we must learn to defend, and he meant our country, to defend against cyber attacks, new ways of attacks, cyber attacks, and electromagnetic attacks. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is very, very positive, and I'm going to be getting involved in it. Go to targetedjustice.com. targetedjustice.com, and a lot of you guys know Midge. I'm not going to say her last name, but Midge or Yaya on the conference calls. Richard Lighthouse is involved, and a lot of y'all know his name. A bunch of TIs got together in Texas. They actually got together physically in Texas. excuse me, and they started working on a plan